Hello, boys and girls. Today's selection is titled Go, and it is a selection, an informational text. An informational text is a selection about facts about a topic or real people. And before we get into our story, we're going to go over our vocabulary words first that will be within the selection. Our first vocabulary word is the word team. Team. Let's take a look here. We look at our image. In our image here, we see a group of girls along with a coach. A coach is somebody that trains and teaches you about the sport to become better. She's like the leader of the group. And then we have a group of girls here that they're all dressed the same and they're holding a basketball. So a team consists of more than one person that comes together to play in a sport and helps each other out to become better in a team. And they all wear the same uniforms as well to match each other. Team is a noun because we all know that a noun can be a person, place, thing, or animal. And here, team is a thing. A team is a group of people who play a game against another group. So you can have team A and team B. And if you're on team A, you would compete against team B to see who is the winner. And in our image, we see the players on this basketball team all work together during games. Our next vocabulary word is the word equipment. Equipment. So on our image here, boys and girls, we see two persons, probably two men. And it looks like they're wearing helmets. They're face to face. They're kind of bent down with one hand on the ground. And it looks like they're probably opposite teams because one's wearing a green jersey and one is wearing a blue. And if you notice what they're wearing special type of shoes that helps them run better on the field. They're wearing these type of pants or clothing that helps them with knee protection right here to protect their knees so they won't hurt themselves. They're wearing a jersey, like I said, for opposite teams maybe, and it has a number on their jersey. So when you play in a team, boys and girls, you have to wear equipment or certain clothing to be able to participate and be able to distinguish from each other. Equipment is a noun because a noun, boys and girls, again, is a person, place, thing, or animal. And equipment are things that you wear on your body to play. Your equipment is the stuff that you need to play a game or a job. For example, the equipment these football players need includes a football, helmet, and pads to protect their bodies. Okay. Next vocabulary word is the word coach. Coach. So on our image, we see a little boy and little girl, and we have the coach. Now, the coach can also be like a teacher because he's teaching you how to play a certain sport or what to do in the sport to be able to be a good player, a good team member. Okay, a coach can be a boy or a girl. Okay, when you play basketball, you have a coach. When you play football, you have a coach. When you play soccer, you can also have a coach, and he's kind of the one in charge of the team. And you see him here kind of teaching the little girl how to do maybe a cartwheel that she's doing. A coach is a verb because a verb shows the action. What is he? Or he can also be a noun because it is a person. Okay. So if you coach people, you tell and show them how to do something. So that's why you can use it as he is a coach, so he's a person, right? But you can also say he coaches. So what does he do? The verb, he coaches other people. So it can be a noun or a verb. To coach the gymnast, the instructor tells the athlete how to do a cartwheel. So the instructor is the coach right here. He teaches them or coaches them on how to do it, how to do a cartwheel. Our next vocabulary word is the word rules. Rules. So we know that when you go to school, you have to follow rules, right? To be in a classroom or in the school, or you have to follow classroom rules to be able to behave well, right? And the same thing in a team or in any sport you play, you have to follow the rules as well. There's rules for basketball, there's rules for football, there's rules for soccer, for any sport you play. And there's always this one person called a referee, and he'll be dressed a little bit different than from the teams. And he'll be looking out that the players are keeping or following rules, that they're not breaking any rules. Okay? Rules is a noun as well. Rules that tell you that what you can and cannot do. So it's a thing. So sometimes in football, for example, you can't hold nobody's helmet or you can't pull anybody from their jerseys. You have to follow the rules in order to play appropriately. So rules is a noun because it's a thing, something you have to do in a sport. For example, a referee makes sure that the players are following the rules of the game. So this person right here is called a referee, and he makes sure that they're all following the rules. Our next vocabulary word is the word goal. Goal. Now, a goal, boys and girls, when you play soccer, you always have a goalie at the end of your where you put the ball in, and he's making sure the ball doesn't go in there. So his job is to protect his goalie from the other team making a point. And he's the only one allowed to touch the ball with his hands in the sport of soccer. And he kind of pushes the ball away or rejects it from going into here. Goal is a noun because it is a thing as well. Something that he does there, the thing, it's a goal. When you get a goal in a game, you get one or more points. For example, the player blocked the ball, so the other team did not get a goal. So his job is really important, so his team won't lose, or so the other team won't score points. He has to keep the ball from going into his little goalie here with his hands, kind of pushing it away or rejecting it. And our last vocabulary word is the word fan. Fan. Now, fan is not the word fan like when you use when you're hot to keep the heat away. Fan, boys and girls, is used as when you go to a sport or you like a favorite team, you're a fan for them. For example, you can be a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, or you can be a fan of the Houston Texans because you like a team more than another and you cheer them on and you root for them and you want them to win. So a fan, boys and girls, is a noun because it is a thing. If you are a fan of something, you like it very much. A fan supports the team by clapping and cheering. So, for example, Ms. J.S. can like the Cowboys, but another student can like the Houston Texans, so they root for them, they cheer for their team because they want them to win. They're fans of them, and they get excited and they yell. So these are our vocabulary words that will be in our selection titled Goal. It's a story about a sport. So our words once again are team, equipment, coach, rules, goal, and fan. Okay, boys and girls. As we move on now, boys and girls, on our skill or focus for this selection titled Goal, we're going to focus on point of view. Point of view. And point of view pretty much is who tells the story, because somebody has to be telling us a story, right? And an informational text, because the story that we'll be reading is informational text, which gives information about a topic or real people. So someone's point of view is the way he or she sees things happen. And point of view, boys and girls, we can have a third person or a first person. A third person means a person who is not in the book is telling it. Look for the words he, she, or they. So for example, if I was to be saying a story but I'm not in it, I would say he ran as fast as he could. Or I could say she. She was running as fast as she could from the Cookie Monster. Or they were running really fast because I'm not in the book, but I'm telling it. Or first person. A first person who is in the book is telling it. Look for the words I, me, or my. So for example, I can be in this story. So if I'm in the story and I'm telling the story, I can say, I was running to the room, or me and my mom ran to the room, or my sister and I ran to the room. So a first person is a person who is in the book, and it gives you clue words to look for it to see, okay, this person's in it, but she's also telling the story. Or a third person, when you look for clue words like he, she, or they, like they're not in the story, but they're referring to these words like this. They're telling you about a story. So point of view is really important, boys and girls, when reading a story, because you get to see if the actual person that's telling you is in the story or if it's not. And it's who tells the story. Who tells the story? And look for these clue words to help you understand point of view. Because someone's point of view is the way he or she sees things happen. As we continue and move along, boys and girls, and prepare to read our story titled Go, it's really important to know the genre of this type of story we're going to be reading. And the type of genre is informational text. It's nonfiction. So that means that this story, Go, is informational. It's going to be giving us information about a topic or real people. And nonfiction means that it is real. We're going to look for photographs of a real person within the story, facts about real events, things that could happen in real life, and pictures with labels to give us clues about what it's giving us information about. When you read, it's also really important that you set a purpose. When you set a purpose, boys and girls, you read to know what the author's purpose is. Is he writing or wanting us to learn about the information? Is he giving us information about a book? Is he entertaining us? Is he making us laugh about something? Or is he persuading us? Is he changing our mind about something? You always ask questions before the story, during the story, and after the story to help us better comprehend and also to kind of help us figure out what the purpose is, why the author wrote the story for its purpose. Think about the author's words, as you read. Then decide or evaluate which details are the most important to help you understand the text. Because the author will put important keywords, important information, important details to help you. What is he trying for us? What is he wanting us to learn from this? So it's really important for us to know the genre, which is informational text, which is nonfiction, and to always know our purpose for reading. Our power words, once again, are the words team, equipment, coach, rules, goal, and fan. Okay, boys and girls. So our selection once again is titled Go. And it is by Jane Medina, illustrated by Maine Diaz. So Jane Medina is the author of the story, and illustrated by Maine Medina is the illustrator who drew the pictures or added the photographs into the story. If you look at the front cover of the book, boys and girls, you see a big soccer ball. There's a soccer ball. And on the back, we see the goalie with its hands, meaning their job is to stop the ball from the other team scoring a point. So this person has a very important job when they play soccer. Then we see a shoe, the type of shoes they wear for soccer. The bottom has to have cleats so they're able to run faster in the grass. And then in big capital letters and with one of these big signs, you see the word go with an exclamation mark at the end. So that means they're yelling with excitement. Because when you play soccer and the other team or your team makes a goal into the other team's net, everybody yells, goal! That's what they do in soccer. They get excited because they scored a point. So each goalie on each end of the team are trying to make it stop. So by looking at this right here, boys and girls, I already have a clue that it's going to be about soccer because I have a soccer ball right here. And then you have the word goal in big capital letters. So it's really important to read titles and look for pictures to give you clues about what the story might be about or what might the author's purpose be. These are illustrations right here. They're drawings, right? But remember, our story is informational text. And informational text means when you give information about a topic or about a real person. So let's go ahead and continue with their story and do a picture walk first to see what the story might be about. And let's pay attention also to the point of view. Who is telling the story? Is it a third person or a first person? Let's look for those clue words. So here I see an actual person. That's a photograph of a real person. And then I see a photograph illustration like of a character or somebody within the story. On the next page, I see a grown-up, a man with two kids, like a banner that says Go Pisas. Okay. On the next page, we see them with different kind of like captions, different like little words pointing to different things. And it has the word shin guard. This is what they use to kind of protect their legs. Ball, pointing to the ball. Smile, she's smiling. Sock, wear socks. And cleats. Cleats are a type of shoe that you wear to run better in the grass. On the next one, we see probably the coach of the team. He's holding up a shirt with the name Pisas, probably the name of the team. That's the color of the shirts I'll be wearing. On next one, it looks like he's probably teaching them about soccer as they watch. This next one, now they're practicing on their own, maybe kicking the ball. So I'm back here also. Here we see them passing the ball to one another, kind of kicking it in the air, because in soccer you're able to kick the ball with your knees, with your feet, or even with your hand. You kind of bump it, but you're not allowed to touch the ball with your hands. That's one of the rules. You cannot touch the ball with your hands in soccer. And the coach looks at them while they practice. On this next page, it looks like they might be playing already with a different team because here I see a referee. Remember, a referee kind of looks like they're following the rules and they're all playing correct. So I see one girl here dressed with like maroon and gold, and then another little girl is wearing a different color shirt and pants. So she might be from a different team. And they're playing soccer. They have to compete. So here the team, they're passing the ball to one another. So it looks like they're pointing this way on this page. They're telling her to keep on running maybe that way, run faster. Maybe she's almost close to making a goal for her team. There she is, kicking the ball. And then over here, it looks like she made a goalie. She's the goalie. She's the one that's supposed to stop this team from making the ball go into their net. The word net right there. This is a net. And it looks like probably they look very happy. Probably the ball did go into their net. And then over here on our last page, we see the same person we saw at the beginning of the story. That's a real person, an actual photograph of somebody. Look at the background. There's trees, there's grass. She's holding a soccer ball. I wonder if this person is her. So who could have been telling the story? Could have been her or somebody else. All right, let's go back to our story. So once again, our title of the story is titled Goal by Jane Medina, illustrated by Maine Diaz. Okay. So here, she's telling you who she is, the word I. So she's speaking. Colette Mora, that's her name, and she likes to play soccer. So this is an actual photograph of her. So she's telling you the story of her, how she got started playing soccer. Okay. So Mr. Chan is their coach, and he coaches them on soccer. Okay, he's their coach, and notice how they have their equipment they have to wear to play soccer to keep safe. Okay, notice, boys and girls, how the word I am at my first practice. So a little girl is the one talking. She's telling you the story about what they do in soccer. Okay. And one of the rules in soccer is you cannot use your hands. The only person that can use her hands is the goalie. She's the goalie because she's trying to stop the ball from coming into their net from the other team making a point. That's why you see them here only kicking with their feet and making sure they follow the correct rules in soccer. Rules, vocabulary word, rules. So here, boys and girls, the coach is teaching them how to pass the ball, how to dribble the ball, and little by little, they're learning how to play because in soccer, there are certain rules you have to follow. It's just kind of passing the ball back and forth, kind of kicking it back and forth without using your hands. And the coach monitors them as they practice. The more practice you get, the better you get at something. So they're at their first game now, and they're passing the ball. Kick, pass, kick, pass. That's all you have to do in soccer. Kick it and pass it, kick it and pass it until you make that point at the other side of the zone, which is the other team's net. And here's the referee making sure they're following rules. Net, goalie. So she was able to make her first goal. And when you make a goal, they hear the word goal. Because she's very fast at running. You see her? Vocabulary word fan. Fan is when you like something very much and you kind of cheer it on. She is a fan of what sport? Soccer. She likes soccer very much. That's her favorite sport. That's why she plays it a lot. Okay? So this story, boys and girls, was giving us information about soccer. What they do in soccer, how they play soccer, and about a little girl named Colette Mora, which is her. She was telling you the story of how she got started and how she liked soccer. First point of view. I hope you enjoyed the story.